Hello, and thank you for clicking on a link to learn about a tool that's been in QuickBooks Accountant for some time, since 2009, and its goal is to help you to find and fix client errors faster. Of course, I'm talking about the Client Data Review tool, and there have been some changes over the years to this actual module. Now, you can access the Client Data Review. Some of the tools I'm going to show you, you'll be able to see in, say, a non-accountant edition QuickBooks if you sign in as the external accountant. But the real powerful tools of the CDR, Client Data Review, the CDR, are going to be found in the Accountant Edition. And so if you consider how you're doing the cleanup work now, you're running reports, drilling down, trying to find out where the errors are, then going to make your adjustments, or going to the customer payment window to apply credits individually, or writing off invoices, or maybe you're going to pay bills, or things like that. How do you fix sales tax when someone wrote a regular check to pay it off, but they didn't go through the sales tax payment module, because that used to be how the way to do it, right? Or same with payroll liability. So there's some well-known kind of rabbit holes with QuickBooks and tripwires, if you will, or your clients can get caught up in as they're moseying through QuickBooks throughout the year, and then you get the file and you want to quickly clean this up to move on to other things, right? You can be voiding something in a prior period. So all these things you guys know well, way more than myself. So the Client Data Review birthed out of this need to have kind of your own dashboard. So from the Accountant Center, if I click on Client Data Review or the Client Data Review icon up in my icon bar, again, there's some key tools I just wanted to point out if you guys have not used it before. Troubleshooting prior account balances. Right, first off, you can customize this window any way you want. Click Customize Cleanup Tasks. And maybe you don't do inventory. Maybe you do. Maybe you don't do payroll. So turn off the tools you don't need in here. And I can go to Troubleshoot Prior Account Balances, for example, and I can compare the balances that I have in my records from the last review I did to the client's file I just converted from an accountant's transfer file to an accountant's copy, because a lot of these tools you're going to be able to do pretty much everything except for payroll, even clean up AR and AP in an accountant's copy using the Client Data Review. And it tells me right away what the differences are between the two trial balances for the prior period. And then I can go ahead and either drill in to find out what happened, or go and click View Suggested Adjustments to go make a adjusting journal entry, and then even reverse it. And that's one of the big ones people will use. Another one that has to do with balances too would be the Reclassify Transactions tool. So you have this ability, very popular. People miscode things all the time, and you can just go in here and choose a particular, all these checks written to miscellaneous. I can go ahead and check all these off, click Account, and choose the appropriate account. It can even go from a liability to an expense, or maybe your P&L to balance sheet account. It doesn't have to be expense to expense. And even someone that wants to start class tracking right away, I can choose a class. And then all their transactions, I can go ahead and link to classes. So classify transactions, also another popular one. You can review changes to your lists. What's been added to the chart of accounts? What about any new payroll items that have been added? You want to drill down and see, make sure they're the right tax tracking type for sure. So all this can be done just from one place. Cleaning up AR and AP, for example, or perhaps undeposited funds. And you might have some deposits and some invoices, or maybe you have something, vendor payments and credits that you want to clear up. Maybe someone wrote a check into a particular expense account. There's also some bills, and you can just take the check and take a couple bills and apply them without having to go to pay bills. So all this functionality is from the Client Data Review. Probably my favorite would be the sales tax one. So if I go to Fix Incorrectly Recorded Sales Tax, I can actually turn these regular checks, even if they're cleared or reconciled, into sales tax payments checks. Void and replace them into sales tax payment checks. Let me just move this out of the way. And then it'll take it from there. So Client Data Review, the goal is to save you time when you're finding and fixing errors in the client file. It even works with payroll liabilities also. And if you don't need to do a complete review, you can also, there we go, instead of having to do a full review and mark the review complete and send it back, remember you can run an audit trail of the review as well and save it as a PDF, but from the accountant menu, I can just on the fly do some quick fixing under the Client Data Review submenu now in 2012 Accountant Edition. Go right to Classify Transactions or write off invoices in a batch. So let us help you save some time in finding and fixing some of the key errors that your clients will make day to day in QuickBooks, and do it quickly so you can get on to more revenue producing services. Thanks, and have a great day.